Hello! There's nobody here yet, but welcome to Steph's Hodge-Podge of Gaming, number 2, live from Instagram. So last time, I tried to have a whole setup. Hello! Mac of the Meeple. So last time I tried to have a whole setup on my computer, connected to YouTube, and that ultimately failed, and I did a whole segment on Instagram. So maybe Instagram's the way to go. Hello! Chromos. How are you tonight? Friday night! Hello! People are joining. I am just here to talk about whatever games anybody's playing and wants to talk about. I have been playing a lot of Charterstone. That's what I've been playing. Played 2 more games this week. I won't give any spoilers, but Charterstone has been a lot of fun. Maybe because I'm winning. I've won 5 out of the 8 games that I've played, so that's good. I haven't played Pandemic Legacy. That's the one that's a legacy game everybody's played except me. Charterstone is great. I should probably play Legacy Season 1, but I'm not like a huge Pandemic fan, so I don't think I will like it as much. But I did play Seafall all the way through. I think it ended up being 14 games. And I really actually enjoyed that to the point where I would actually play it again in like 10 years. I'm getting a question. Are you playing with any Automa in Charterstone? I am not. We are playing a 4-player game, and that's it. Sonia has not played Pandemic Legacy either, so we're the only 2. But so Charterstone's actually my second Legacy game, and I have been having a lot of fun. It is a Euro game, and if you don't like Euro games, well, you're probably not gonna be like all about it. But hello, getting some waves. Hi, Boards with Panda. So Friday night, nobody to play games with again. Everybody needs to move to New Hampshire, apparently. Then we can all play games together. I was just talking about legacy games in general. I really like the concept of them. I love how you're building a story and getting new boxes of things, and I can't wait to see what's in all the boxes. So I was explaining I played all through Seafall, and I really like that. The ending was weird. And probably needed a bit more development. However, I had fun playing through the whole thing. It was a 3-player game, and if you're going to play Seafall, I recommend 3 players. It was much better with 3 players. I think 5 players would have been far too long for me. I would have hated it. 3 players, it just moved along, bing, 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 turns, and, a game might last 1 to 2 hours, which is my ideal time for a game anyway. So, Seafall was a good experience, and I would recommend it, even though it kind of has a bad rap, but, yeah. Regarding Charterstone, though, those games last like 30 minutes. Well, the first several lasted 30 minutes, and we could bang out 2 games in an hour, and that was like so fast. But I'm not going to do any spoilers for Charterstone, but I do want to recommend, if you're playing it, to make sure you look over everything very carefully. Make sure you put the cards where they need to go, and not forget any cards, because we kind of had a little hiccup in our game where something was missed, and it kind of might have ruined it for one of our players. So I would just, double check everything when you're playing that game, because it can move so fast that you just might miss something. So otherwise, what else have I been playing? I played Roll for the Galaxy again this week, after over a year's having played that, and since that's like my icon for my it's my logo, it's my brand, is Roll for the Galaxy, it was time to bring it back to the table, and Derek had wanted to play it again. It's a very good game. I was never really a fan of Race, but perhaps I need to give it another shot. I think I started playing Race a little early in my gaming career, or whatever, my gaming experiences. And it just, the icons, it was too much, and I just left me feeling, I don't like it so much. Oh, I'm getting a question. Meeple Overboard. If using Automo, don't forget to double check the Automo book at the start and end of each game too. Mistakes were made. Yeah, so the little things like that can really kind of ruin it for some players if you miss one little thing in Charterstone. So, yeah, I would totally just recommend making sure you do every step along the way, because it's easy just to breeze past something. Yeah. So, what else did I play this week? Oh my god, so Monday night I played the huge game of Arkwright. Oh my god. It's such a big game, and there's so much thinking involved, and it was 3 hours of gameplay and 45 minutes of remembering the rules, but it went over really well. I think I might have had a headache at the end of it. So, Arkwright is just this huge economic game where you're like trying to manage all your goods and your ships, and with more players, I think, so we played 3 players, and that was a really good number, except for the beginning. So when there's 4 different like factories you can get into, and everybody will start with 2 factories. And so you start with 2 factories, and so there's kind of an overlap. So Ron might pick white and red, and then Jeff might pick blue and purple, and then so I'm stuck here with, out of those 4, they picked those 4, and now I have to pick 2 that they, so there's kind of this overlap where you want to have your own little like niche for Arkwright. I got the question, which war game do I like the most? Oh, I'm not really a war game kind of girl. I do like War of the Ring. I would assume that that's a war game, but it's probably also pretty Euro-y too, with the hidden movement, and I like to be the good guys. As far as war games goes, I'm not like little chits on a map kind of girl, though I know a lot of people who are. What has been the surprise game of the past year? Surprise game, huh? I'll have to think about that and come back to you on that one. Surprise game. 2017 was a rough year for me. I just, nothing was a surprise for me. Everything was kind of, it was a good year, but 2016 was the better year. And I had a lot of fun in 2016. So like Colonists, that game, I just want to play it. And it's a 4-hour game with 2 people. I don't know how I could just like want to play that game, but I do. So that's probably the biggest surprise. And that was 2016. Have I played Rising Sun yet? No, I saw a picture of the beautiful meeples. I did not back it. So Blood Rage wasn't really my favorite. I wouldn't mind playing it again, but it kind of left me feeling, I know, I'm horrible. I'm horrible. What do I think about Aliens versus Predator game? Never played it. I have no thoughts on it. Mostly because aliens aren't really... I'm not drawn to the theme of, like, Aliens versus Predator. So, that one, I actually don't know much about it. Now I have to go to BGG and check it out, because I don't... I don't know. I don't even know what the mechanics are in that one. Though, okay, so Rising Sun is a game that I do want to play. I do really want to play it, actually. I'm just to photograph it because, you know, on Instagram, we all love photography here, and especially, you know, I love photography. So that would be one I really want to photograph. Hopefully my friends will paint it, because then it'll be even better to photograph. Colonists! Thoughts on the most unique game you've played in last year's-ish? Thoughts on the most unique... So... Unique is such a weird word. So when I think of unique, I think, you know, Japanese games. I kind of touched on that last week when I was live, and, you know, how I love Japanese games because they're just different. You know, when I played Yokohama, I never played anything like that. So it's like, what? That game is amazing. And then, you know, Tasty Mitchell decided to bring it to the United States, and it was awesome. So, you know, unique as in, like, mechanics, like Mombasa with the hand management. Oh, that just blew me away. Like, I love, like, getting surprised by a mechanic. I think that's, like, super cool. I got a random question. Thoughts on Village? Assuming you enjoy, are the expansions needed? Okay, so Village I played, and it lasted, like, 3.5 hours. It was not my favorite game, so I never went back to visit Village, but I hear the expansions really help and really make it a great game. So from what I've heard, I have not played. I got only recommendations about the expansions for Village. Colonist is great. So I got a comment. Colonist was great, but so hard to get to the table. Oh, it's so true. It's so hard to get to the table because you really need 4 hours if you're going to play 2 players. That is like a Sunday, you know. Maybe if you play with your significant other, it's easier. So for me, I get to play with Ron, and he likes it, so we get to play, you know, on a Sunday, or if we get home early and do, you know, we could do it on a Tuesday or something. But you really gotta, like, carve out a time for the Colonists and, you know, want to play it. I don't think I would ever play it with, you know, 4 people. I did for Era 1, and I won't do it again. The king. So I have to play Kingdom Death Monsters. What I Labottles is saying to me. That has been in BGG top hotness for weeks now. Like weeks. Because every week I go on Friday and there's a geek list that says, how hard are you this week? And it has all the BGG top 50 games. That's in the hotness. And that is always on there. And perhaps I do need to play that one. But is it in the same realm as Gloomhaven, where you're kind of like opening? Is it kind of like a dungeon crawl? Is that what it is? Because Gloomhaven, I have sitting over there. We played the first couple games, and not again. So that's what I really want to get back to the table is Gloomhaven. But it's just so much in the box. It's a bit overwhelming for someone who, like me, who's just like, that looks good. Just however you want to set it up, just set it up. I'll come back in 30 minutes, then you set it up. So, you know, Ron and I probably didn't pick the best characters for Gloomhaven either, so we're kind of like these 2 little characters that are trying to beat, you know, all the big guys, but it's just an experience, right? Oh, Andy Board's asking me, any games you're excited to play that you haven't? Oh, yeah, there's my wish list of games to play are forever long. If I haven't played it, I want to play it. You know, there's a new Uwe Rosenberg game coming out this year. Reinhelt? Ah, man, I can't remember the name, but I know the cover. It has a little red house on it. It looks awesome, but I'm a big fan of Uva anyway, so yeah. There's other ones. Civilization New Dawn with the focus bar was my favorite mechanic of last year. Okay. I have been playing a lot of Civilization New Dawn, so I can see that. I like that you're managing your cards. You know, you always have 5 out. That's really cool. I like that, but it still doesn't beat Mombasa, the hand management, for me. And I love the original Civ so much. Like, that was one of my, like, almost gateway games because it was one of the first games I ever bought. And so I played a whole hell of a lot of that game. And it will always have a place in my heart. Civ! 2010 Fantasy Flight version. Is it a mix between pen and paper and a dungeon crawl and ethnics and philosophy and stuff? Wow. So that comment was towards Kingdom Death Monster, I believe. So a dungeon crawl. So is it co-op? Have I played Heaven and Ale yet? That seems right up my alley. Yes, I played the prototype back in April, and then I played it again once it came back, out at Essen. So I played that again, and, it's a really good game. Heaven and Ale is a really good game. I have yet to purchase it, though. It's on the wish list. Mombasa is amazing. Heaven and Ale. So I have a lot of friends who love it, a lot of friends who own it, so maybe I don't need to own it. I host game day, like, all the time, so they could just bring it, right? No, I'll probably own it. Ideally, from a math trade or a trade, because I have so many games that I need to trade away. Hey! Cities just got a score of 47. Is that good or bad? No, that's pretty bad. I'm sorry. A good score would probably be 75. That's probably a good score. I usually score around 67 to 73. So 47 you need work for Cities. Cities is a wonderful game. It is in my top 10. It is a tile placement game where you're building a 4x4 map of a city, and you're placing your guys to try and score points. Everybody has the same information, but you're not interfering. It's a completely solo game that you can play with tons of people or just by yourself. I have 2 sets, so I can play up to 8 if I can find 8 suckers. I am very good at Cities. I played it a whole hell of a lot online, and I've got really good. Just saw I missed a meeple in the bag. I don't know what that means. So when he was playing Cities, he left one of his meeples in the bag. So he could have got at least 6 more points. So we'll give you a score of 53, which is a little bit better. Have a good night. So we were just talking about BGG, the hotness, and so out of the 50 games each week, I usually score about 22 to 25 games that I've played, which is not bad, but there are some games in there that I just haven't played, or it's questionable. So, like, I've played Through the Ages original one, but the hotness has been Through the Ages, the new one, and I haven't played that, so I don't count that one, even though I probably could. Other games that are just always on there, like Gloomhaven and Kingdom Death Monster, and I don't know, like all these games, new or not released or just announced that I haven't played, but you get the solid core games that I have played, like Robinson Crusoe is always on there. I haven't played Rebellion yet, and that's one that I really do want to play. It's supposed to be an excellent 2-player game, and I play a lot of 2-player games. I think Ron would like it, so that's one on my to play list that, I really want to try out. But yeah, so if you don't know, each week I write a blog about the games that I play and post all my pretty pictures on there. It's called All the Meeples of the Rainbow, and that's on BGG. I play so much that sometimes it takes over, the week to write it, which is just crazy. It's time consuming to write a blog, but it's a lot of fun, and I love it, and you can tell that I like games, basically. Oh, Daniel Mikion? He is playing Robinson Crusoe tonight. I did just mention that. That is awesome. I remember playing it, and I really liked when I played it. We lost really bad. Ron didn't really like it, so then I ended up selling our copy because if he's not going to like it, I'm not going to play solo, and it is what it is. But, Robinson Crusoe, it was... I enjoyed it. I thought it was very well done. Do I prefer Ameritrash or Euro games? Oh, easy Euro games. There are not many Ameritrash games that I do enjoy. Actually, I'm trying to think. I owned and played Chaos in the Old World several times, actually, and I really enjoyed that one, but then I ended up selling it because it just never got played. I owned Arkham Horror. That was actually my gateway game. That is the game that got me into games, was Arkham Horror. And then I was like, I hate co-ops! So, I went totally against all co-op games because I just couldn't stand Arkham Horror anymore. And, nowadays I would play it. I would try Eldritch Horror too, just because that's supposed to be pretty cool. So I wouldn't say no to a Ameritrash game. I know a lot of people who like them, so I could get them played. And I'm always open to playing a new game. So if someone were to bring one and we were to play, I would play. That's fine. I need to learn 300 games because my goal this year is to learn 300 new games. Simple as that. So I gotta do it. I gotta play all the games. Let me just look. So other games like that I just absolutely love, like Fields of Arle. Arle is my number 2 favorite game. It is one that I played for 100 and something straight weeks. I played it once a week for over 100 weeks. So I have over probably 120 games of Fields of Arle in right now. And I just love Fields of Arle. I just love everything about it. Gamer Joe is saying he's playing Eldritch Horror tomorrow night. Oh, you gotta let me know how it is. Gotta let me know how it is. I hear it's very good. So it's one I would like to try eventually, and I'm sure I will sign up for an event at some con that I'm going to, because I want to learn a new game, and that seems like a good one. So yeah, I think it could be good. I think they streamlined Arkham Horror a little bit for that one, which might be, more my speed. Arkham Horror is just so long and so heavy. And by heavy, I mean not heavy, because it's not that heavy, but I mean, it's just long. It's really long, and there can easily be a leader problem with that one, which was my experience several times, just because I didn't care. So, maybe if I cared a little bit more about the gaming experience for Arkham Horror, I would have, liked it better, but yeah, they had the problem where somebody was just telling me where to go, what to do, and I was just like, whatever, I'll just go there. Doom! What about Doom? I'm so damn excited about this game. Love to paint the minis. Oh, I don't know anything about Doom. I know the box cover because it's been used in so many parodies. So many different ways on BGG that I've seen, the picture. I saw it again. I don't know much about it. I think that one is better with more people. 6 people, I think, is the idea. And you're trying to trade and backstab people. I could totally be wrong. I have not played it. Is that sort of social deduction? I really don't remember what the mechanics are for that game, but I know it's an old classic that, I should try. But then, if people try and get me to play it, I'll be like, what about this new shiny game? No, I play a lot of old classics too. Like, I've played a lot of them. So many people nowadays are just playing whatever's new, and that's fine. I do it too. I so do it too. But they aren't playing, like, the originals to see how it, eventually evolved into how we got to where we are. So it's always good to go visit, the classics, as you will. It's about a video game. Kill friggin' demons. Oh. I remember the video. I mean, yeah, now that you say it, I remember the video of Doom. I didn't know you killed demons. Sounds interesting. Oh, it's a co-op. Okay. That could be why it's been off my radar for all these years, because I was so anti-co-op for the longest time. Nowadays, I'm more willing to, play a co-op, much more so than I was before. Kent is saying, I have a copy of the original edition of Arkham Horror. Have to try it again with the fan rewrite and rules on BGG. Yeah, I think because they changed the original a bit. The original map, I just saw a picture of that the other day. It was totally different. It was totally different. I don't know how it differs in play, though. What is my favorite co-op? That is a good question. I have three co-ops that I really like. The first one is Orleans Invasion. That is a game that I would play. Basically, if somebody asked me to play that, I would play that. For whatever reason, Orleans Invasion is just amazing. I love that challenge of trying to defend the wall and get all the stuff there. Have I tried Spirit Island? I have. For me, it was far too long. It lasted 3 hours, and it really should be a 90-minute game. Had it been a 90-minute game, I would have loved it. I would have loved it so much. But because it was 3 hours, I was just like, oh my god, can this game be over? It totally outstayed its welcome, unfortunately. My other two favorite co-op games, Mysterium. That is just such a fun game. I like to be the ghost. People like to have me shut up. So I sit there and, I try and give clues that make sense, and everybody just fails. We always fail, and I play on super hard mode for Mysterium. And then the last one is Flatline. Flatline is a real-time dice rolling game, but everybody's doing their part with their own dice and trying to heal the patients, which I find it so much fun. It was a hit from the moment I played it in November, and I've been loving that one since. Gamer Joe sees Otis on my shelf. How is it? I'm tempted. Otis is wonderful. There is a cool mechanic in that game with rotating pieces, and it happens more than once. It's like throughout the game you'll find this rotating mechanic. So your divers are going down, you use them, they'll float back up to the top. They're done for the day, basically. But then you also get a cool like bonus action each time you do actions. So you have to plan for your bonus action to line up perfectly with your real action, and it's a whole lot of thinking, but it is basically a cube pusher. So you're pushing cubes to get points. So the scoring in that game is a little, been there, done that, but it's the way about doing it, which is interesting. And I've played it several times. Everybody I played it with really, really likes it. I'm not sure it wowed anybody, but there's a lot of thinking you're doing, and I really like that. So Otis, I'm really happy I got that at Essen. I'm always a fan of Pearl games, so I'm always drawn to them. Probably because Gengopolis is my favorite, so I always want to try everything that Pearl has to offer. Deus and Troy. I love them all. So I'm always happy and excited for a new Pearl game. Um, how many players at 3 hours? Oh, are we talking about Spirit Island? We played 4 players. I'm pretty sure we're talking about Spirit Island. But so we played 4 players. One, the person teaching, he knew the game very, very well. He played it several times solo with other people. But it was 3 of us learning. We didn't play particularly slow, and there was some AP here and there, but it wasn't that bad. I don't. So maybe it would be better. Maybe Spirit Island would be better with 2 players. I am not quite sure. Board Games with Panda just picked up Anachrony. I do really like Anachrony. So that is also a very big and long game. Maybe because of the setup time and there's a lot of fiddliness with pieces, but I really like the game. I think it's a pretty easy worker placement. Once you get the rules down, it's just getting the rules down. So you have to figure out the time travel mechanic, and then I think you're basically pretty good to go. I really like it. My friend painted his set, so we get to play with his sometimes, and my copy never gets played. That's what happens. It's like, if it's a good game and my friend has it, they paint it, and then we play theirs every time. Same with Scythe. Like, Terraforming Mars. All these games that they pimp out so much that, we... my copies are just like, what? Why do I have this game? Spirit Island has a lot of fans. Wonder if groupthink made it so long. Maybe. Is it not supposed to be 3 hours? From what I heard from Spirit Island and people who've played, that it is a pretty long game that, gets... Maybe... people still love it, though, so maybe people can look past the time. For me, the time just didn't fly by. Normally, when I really love a game, time doesn't matter, and the game just flies on by. Okay, it's good to hear that Spirit Island is great with 2 players, because, it might be one that I should revisit, because everybody really does love that one, and I got a really cool power. I got to be lightning, so I was happy that I could be, like, the lightning birder. Oh, that was really cool. Anachrony is next on my to-buy list. Oh, good. Anachrony is a great one. So, now that we've been talking about that one, maybe I should play that one. And Derek just joined the chat, so maybe, Derek, you should bring your copy so we could play. I totally forgot how to play. It's been, so long since we last played Anachrony, so if I had to teach it, I would just be blah. And Ron is not gonna be around tomorrow, so, yeah, teaching it would probably be an issue, but, Santorini, what about it? So Santorini, I played that a lot at the beginning of last year. It was on the table every week for, 8 weeks. We were playing it so much. I really like it. It's a great abstract, and I think it's really... I'm so happy that it's in Target and you can get it for $20. I think a lot of people will find gaming through Santorini. I think it's really great. So it's one I should definitely play again. Because again, Derek, who's in the chat right now, he painted my little minis, and I need to take more pictures of them because they're amazing. The game plays out super fast unless, we're evenly matched, and then it just takes a long time to play Santorini because we're so even, and then I end up losing because I just give up. I'm like, Ron's just gonna win anyway, so, oh well. Yeah, see, okay, so Solo Board Gamer says he has to reread the rules every time he goes to play Anachrony. And that is, yeah, so that's a problem. See, I don't want to have to reread the rules every time I go to play a game, which is what happened with Arkwright. So, I really need to play Arkwright more. So I played Arkwright on Monday, if you just joined. And Arkwright is such a huge game, thanks to Jeff, who, actually had played it again since the last time we played in February of last year, I think. But he picked up the rule book and was able to kind of go through it and reteach us the game. It is one we really need to play again more than once a year, because that Arkwright is just such a big and heavy economic game that there's so much what? You look at everything, you're like, oh boy. It's super fiddly, but you're thinking the whole time and you have a huge headache at the end. So if that's your kind of game, I think you should really look at Arkwright. But Anachrony, Anachrony, I think I could go through the rule book and teach it just fine. Even after it, I don't think it's been quite a year since I played it. Maybe April would be a year. And I think even after the 10 months, I think I could probably teach it okay with the rule book. I remember it just being really easy. So, easier than it looks anyway. How about that? Easier than it looks. I would have to refresh on a few things, but I think I could do it okay. It would not be my best teaching experience, but it would be manageable. Do I sleeve my cards? So, I don't. Just because I have a zillion dominions, that would be insane. I could not do it. I do under these special circumstances. If it's Seven Wonders, I played out my first copy of Seven Wonders, and they were horrible. I played it out so hard, I had to get a new copy. So then I sleeved the second copy. I also sleeve my cards for Gigapolis because it's my favorite game, and clearly a good idea since they're not reprinting it, I guess, ever, which is the saddest ever, because it's the best. And everybody should have Gigapolis and love Gigapolis. I love Gigapolis! And finally, the last game that I've ever sleeved is Seasons. Why did I start sleeving Seasons? I think it was just because I had extra sleeves, but it's a pain to shuffle Seasons with the sleeves. I'm not gonna lie. There are so many cards because we have both expansions, and it's a pain. But it's still in my top 10, so maybe it deserves it. I don't know. I don't know how to justify sleeving everything. It's just time consuming and finding the appropriate size, and I don't know. Maybe I just don't care enough. Unless it's a game I have to sleeve, like Gigapolis. How about Lisboa? Lisboa is not a game I've played yet. So, I want to. I have a friend who loves it, and he would be willing to teach me. I might not be the best student. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think the game will be for me. I really did not like the Gallerist. Unfortunately, there's even photography in the Gallerist. I'm like, the Gallerist is going to be the most amazing game ever! And then it was totally not my game at all. I really just hated it, unfortunately, because I wanted to love it so much. And the love, I just couldn't, I couldn't get it. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I hate shuffling sleeved cards too. But yeah, so Lisboa, Ron, he said I would not like it. Star is not convinced that I would like it, and he'd be the one teaching me. I would really have to play with the right people that understand me, and then we'll see. So Lisboa is a game I really want to try. It's so beautiful. I want to photograph it so much. I'm not sure I would like it. Again, that hasn't stopped me from playing a game before, but because it's such an investment in time, I have not played it yet. And that's why. I'm not the hugest fan of Vattel, but there are some that I do like. I liked Can-Man. I was probably the one person, or I don't think there's many people that like that one so much, but Maybe it's just because the colors. I like the colors in that one, but I like the mechanic too. That is another game that I could not teach. There's no way. There's no way I could teach that game. So yeah, I'm just trying to think of his other games because the Gallerist was just not one for me. Oh, Vinyos. I actually really like Vinyos. That's probably my favorite of his designs, the new one. I have not played the older version of that game, but I've been told that I should. So maybe I should. Am I interested in CO2 at all then? So if you notice, it is right behind me. I've only played it once, and that was with 2 players. And so 2 players, there is a weird I feel like there was a weird mechanic. I can't remember, but I remember totally liking the experience and wanting to play again. There's no way I could teach it. It must have been 2015 or early 2016 when I played it, so I actually don't remember it that well, but I remember enjoying the experience. I know they're doing a reprint, so I'll try and get it played probably around the time everybody else is playing it when it comes out. But still, Vinyos is probably my favorite of his titles. I find Vinyos actually very easy. There's really only 8 options, well, 9 options, but 8 on a given turn that you can choose to do, and, it's just understanding what those options are, that's it. And you put on your fare, and I don't know, for me it just works. For me, it's a Euro game that I can understand and I can teach it easily. I haven't played it in a long time now, so now I kind of want to play that. Everything I want to play! So yeah, CO2, that's on Kickstarter. Maybe? Or will be on Kickstarter? Anyway, so everybody's going to be able to get CO2 soon. I wonder if they're changing the rules. I don't know. If anybody knows if CO2 is getting a rules update, I'm interested in knowing, because then I can apply them to my copy and see if I like it a little bit better. But it's, I'll definitely have to check that out. Yeah, okay, it's on Kickstarter. That's what I thought. Yeah, so, I like his games. I don't love his games, unfortunately. So Lisboa is going to be like the one that I'm just, I don't know. I would imagine that they've updated CO2 as well. But I know that they changed the art, so I know that much, but I don't know if they actually changed rules. I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with the rules in CO2. It's just, there's some co-op, but it's not really, because you want people to work with you to try and, maintain the areas, but you don't really want them helping you, because that's yours. So it has a little bit of that. So that's what made me worried at the beginning. Because, that's why it doesn't really work as well 2-player, because, you're strictly one-on-one, and you can't really help each other, so. Oh, you can play a fully co-op. I think that would be very interesting. I would really like to do that. So maybe that's what so I'll have to check that out, because I think CO2, that could be really good co-op. That's interesting. Huh. Oh, so they changed the board for the co-op mode? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Again, I have to look at that. Yeah, I would definitely be interested in trying the co-op version of that game. I think it could be really cool. So, yeah. And that seems to be his first co-op game that I can think of. So I think he would make a very good co-op game. Because his rules are so, everywhere. If everybody's working together to figure them out, I think it could be a really good game. So, that's pretty funny. What's my second favorite Uwe Rosenberg game? Oh, easy. It's Caverna. That's silly. Number 1, Gingoblas. Number 2, Arl. Number 3, Caverna. Those are my top 3 games. And Odin is in there in my top 10 as well. Feast for Odin. Which reminds me, I really want to play that again soon. I've already played it once this year, but I need to play it more. That's a really good game. I have all the little extra bits and pieces and promos and all of the stuff, and it's cool. Everybody's like, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that? I'm like, I don't know. But I really like, I get what I can. I want all the little bits for all the UVA games. I got a comment. I love Caverna and I haven't played Agricola. Well, so, yeah. Caverna is wonderful. I mean, it really, really, really is. I played Agricola in a terrible setting. It was 5 players. Everybody knew what they were doing but me. My cards were awful. It was a terrible game. So, it was a rough situation to play Agricola. That was when I was basically first starting out gaming, and I hated it. Then Caverna came out, and I was like, no way! No way am I playing Caverna! You can't make me! And then finally, a couple years ago, I was like, alright, I'll try Caverna. People like it. Hooked! I'm hooked! I love it! So good! There's no cards trying to screw you up. The game doesn't hate you. So when the game hates me, I don't like it. So games like Archipelago, I hated it. I hate that the game hates you. So it's fine if other people hate me. I get that a lot. A lot of people hate me and always go against me, but I'm used to that. When the game hates me, it's like, come on, I didn't do anything to you. So that's probably why I hated co-ops for the longest time. But, since I've been warming up to co-ops better and better, just because it's fine if the game hates me, because the game hates everybody. When the game hates everybody, it's fine. Right? But when the game hates me, particularly in Agricola, I just really did not like that. Archipelago was the worst. I just hated it. When I see people playing it, I'm like, oh, what's that? Oh, yeah, I remember. So it's like, people can hate me all day long, and that's fine. And then, I don't want the game to hate me. Why should the game hate me? It's just mean. So I try to avoid games like that, because I just don't want the game to hate me. Then it feels out of my control, right? Yes. Yes, it hates everybody equally. So doesn't the game hate you in Robinson Crusoe? Yes, it totally hates you. I mean, so that's when I get to the point of, this is why co-ops didn't work for me early on, because but it hates everybody evenly. So with Archipelago, it's like, I think there can be like a trader almost, and I really don't like trader games. I haven't found a trader game that I like. So it just doesn't work. If I end up being a trader in a trader game, then it's like, I don't know anything. I'm the worst liar. I can't. He did it. But yeah, so when the game hates you and it's a co-op, it's mostly okay. But when the game hates you and everybody is against you also, it just like, digs deep. This War of Mine as well. So I haven't played that one. It got some good reviews. I know the cover. I don't know much about it. It plays like solo or 2 players or something? I love trader games. Wow. I can't love trader games. I don't. If I'm not the trader, then it's kind of sad, but it's also kind of good, because I'm the terrible liar and everybody can point me out. So we actually played. There was one trader game I like. Okay, I lied. There's one that I like. It is Warehouse 13. Maybe because I freaking love that show so much, I actually really liked the game. And I ended up kickstarting it because I think it's one that could be really fun with the right crowd. Everybody who knows the game, though, or knows the show, though, or has an appreciation for what the show is, and, artifacts that are powerful and stuff. So Warehouse 13 is like super cool. If you like the show, I would highly recommend playing this game because it is fun. So there is a trader mechanic in it. However, you're trying, I forget all the characters, but there was a character that was a trader. So you're that person, and you're trying to go and collect the artifacts, but you really want the warehouse to burn down, and so, I don't know, if you're a fan of the show, like I watched, I think all of it, if not all of it, most of it, H.P. Lovecraft and all that, I love that. It was really fun to play. So I actually ended up playing 2 games because the first game was literally 10 minutes because we screwed up so hard and the warehouse blew up and the trader won. So, the second game went over slightly better. And we ended up winning, the good guys, and we could figure out who the traitor was pretty much later, as soon as the game was about to end. So, yeah, that's Warehouse 13. You go out into the fields, collect the artifacts, try and, complete your missions, and figure out who the traitor is. I think there is a full co-op mode if you don't want to play with the traitor, but I don't know much about it, so... So that's like the only trader game that I really, really did enjoy and will have in my collection. As far as like one versus many, I don't hate them. I like Whitechapel, Last Friday. I like those kind of games where there's one person trying to, defeat the other people. But again, not if it's like hidden information. If we know who Jack is, then we can plan accordingly, kind of thing. I'm really excited about Who Goes There. I know nothing about that. Who Goes There? Kind of sounds like a hidden movement game, but I don't know much about it. I don't know anything about it until I just read that comment right now. Let me see if I can pull it up on BGG. Who Goes There? On my BGG page right now is Dance of the Fireflies. Why? I don't know. I was just looking at it. The art is very nice. Who Goes There? A game of growling paranoia. Wow. So that's a Kickstarter. It's the book that The Thing is based on. Oh, okay. I actually had never seen The Thing. However, I did play the recent Time Stories, and I learned all about it. So I do really enjoy Time Stories. No spoilers, though, but if you like The Thing, then I would recommend that. Time Stories Endurance, I think it was. I think The Thing would be too scary for me. I would sit there and have nightmares for days. I would be like, I don't want this. So I'm not sure I am the right audience for The Thing. But co-op, card drafting, dice rolling, role playing. So that is Who Goes There? I love Time Stories. Have you played Estero Drive yet? I have not, but I'm going to BGG to look at it right now. The art doesn't look scary or creepy in Who Goes There. That's true. I just saw a few clips from it. It looked, co-ops are not my go-to thing, so I don't follow them as thoroughly, or I don't really follow Kickstarter all that often either. There are not many games that I Kickstarter. I kind of went through that phase where I was like, oh my god, Kickstarter. I had like 40 at one time or something. It was like insane. I'm like, all right, I gotta cut back the Kickstarter. A lot of the times they were disappointments or, you know, not as hyped up when, you know, when it comes to my doorstep, and a lot of them haven't even been played that I own, so. Oh, Astero Drive is the newest expansion for Time Stories. That is exciting. I will have to play that. I really like Time Stories, and I like this, you know, just playing with the same group of people and, you know, experiencing that. I only have to play it once, though. Some people play it several times, and I'm just like, why would you play it several times? But, Kickstarter can definitely cause groupthink and hype during the campaigns. Definitely. For sure. So a lot of Kickstarters, if people are loving it, they check it out on BGG. That always goes in the hotness. And you can tell what people are really about. Somebody's asking me, Altiplano or Orleans? So, Altiplano, Orleans Invasion. You know, I really like Altiplano as the better game versus Orleans, which I kind of got sick of after several plays. However, Orleans Invasion really has my heart and is my favorite co-op game, as I discussed earlier tonight, but it's just, I love Orleans Invasion, so don't you have FOMO? Fear of missing out? No. I really don't have FOMO. I don't. I don't know why. I just, if it looks good and like something I would enjoy, I would back it. But there are not that many that just interest me so much. If it's Uwe Rosenberg, I want it. Simple as that. If it's on Kickstarter, I'm there. I'm there. I will be backing that because, you know, he's my favorite. So Kickstarter, yeah, I mean, I don't need metal coins in my stuff and deluxified versions of things, but if it's a game I like, so I own Gentees already. However, I don't really feel the need to then back the deluxe version because I already own it. I like the game. I really like the game. It's awesome for people who can't get it. The original Spielworks copy. That's fine. Then you can back the Kickstarter and you get the fancy bits. But I don't feel the need to back the game to have the fancy bits. I mean, so Gentees, you know, is a really great game. And I think TMG will do very well with that one. And I recommend it. I paid the money from Fun Again to have it, you know, early or earlier. And I have been enjoying it. Yeah, so it makes sense. Just because I own it. However, with Yokohama, Yokohama Deluxe, oh yeah, that had me going. I had the original, and then I got the Kickstarter version, because there was so many upgraded, I mean, so that one made more sense because it had so many exciting bits in it, right? So, Gentees doesn't have all that excitement as Yokohama did for me. And I simply love Yokohama, so, yeah, exactly. So you back something because you don't have it, and the upgrade looks awesome. Exactly. Why wouldn't you back? So for Dinosaur Island, I was fortunate and got to play it before the Kickstarter ended. I freaking loved the prototype. And now everybody's saying, I should have backed it. I'm like, I told you to back it. It's so good. And all of the amazing upgraded bits for Dinosaur Island were amazing. And so that I would have been really sad. I would have been really sad if I didn't, you know, get that special, you know, that copy of Dinosaur Island. Oh, I got 27 seconds remaining. Oh, I didn't see that Gentees is getting a 2-player option. I should do that. Anyway, it's been super awesome chatting with you all. Instagram's kicking me off. That means I've been on here for an hour, which, that's probably enough. I should probably go make dinner anyway. But I really appreciate all of you joining in. And until next time.